So it's been a full year since we filmed the Monza or really done any work to it. We've just been driving it around that entire time. We have a ton of parts for it ready to go on. We've had those parts for like the entire year. We're still not putting on any of those parts. I'll go through what they are. Today we're strictly doing exhaust. All right, so first and foremost, we've had shorty headers for a long time because we've got terrible stock exhaust manifolds, but the exhaust was all connected. That's why we didn't really bother with it. Also, it needs plugs really bad. We've been driving it with crappy plugs for like a year. The plugs are getting worse and worse. It's getting hard to idle. So we're finally gonna be ripping that all out, not right now. So Sanderson shorty headers, I painted them white. Secondly, we've got 15-inch rims. So these are 15 by 4 on 26.6 ETSSs, and then replacing the 13-inch rims, 4 by 4 bolt pattern, and then the 22.5-inch diameter tires. And that will be accomplished with aerospace 5-lug. So we've got billet hub, 1/2-inch wheel studs, 3-inch, and then a non-vented rotor. And then we've got the billet caliper. So those will drop a little bit of weight, get it 5-lug, but still not doing that now. The thing today is finally getting rid of the catalytic converter. So we pulled out the old 1975 two-way converter, and then I got that spherical end 2 1/4, and then this flange 2 1/4, and I built this. And then now I'm just gonna splice in some video from last week of us pulling this thing out, some exhaust clips, and then we'll do some more exhaust testing with this thing, open header, open whatever manifold thing you wanna call that. And then here's this giant pancake cat. We wanna leave it because it's all connected, it's all like working. Yeah, the cat's heavy and annoying, but it's got complete exhaust. We've driven it for a year. It's now time for that to go, and we'll deal with open exhaust. So I'm gonna see if the bolts will come off. If they break, they break. I wanna hear what this thing sounds like, basically open, why weird exhaust. Because actually, from the last time you guys heard this thing, the rear exhaust is also a little bit different. We cut the stock muffler that was here off and was just running that open. This MagnaFlow, I found this thing in the junkyard in the Trailblazer that had the LH6. It had this really nice MagnaFlow on it. Cut it, brought it home, and then this got all welded in. So it now has stock exhaust manifold, stock cat, and instead of just an open, basically like a TBI sounding crappy small block, it's got a nice MagnaFlow muffler. But yeah, we'll fire the car up now. You can hear what it sounds like with this muffler on it, and honestly hear how bad it's running with its bajillion-year-old spark plugs. So you can hear it's very quiet. Here, go ahead and give it a lot of RPM. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. It smells pretty bad. Oh yeah, you can see the cloud. Yeah, so that's what it sounds like with an actual muffler on it. Very, very quiet. And then it's kind of hard to tell. It seems to be better than it usually is, but that's the roughness of the idle. It should be way more smooth than that. I'll show what it looks like underneath the hood. Yeah, she's a bit shaky, but it's probably idling at like 500 RPM with that right now. All right, so we actually managed to get all 4 of the nuts off. No cutting, nothing. They actually came out really easily, just a little bit WD-40. So yeah, 50-year-old bolts from exhaust, still fine. So there we go, look at that. Cool, so it's completely open. The cat is hooked up in the back, and I can get to these bolts really easily. And then we can figure out if we wanna just ditch this or what we wanna do. But before we do that, I wanna fire it up exactly how you see it, because I don't think it's gonna be that loud. Yeah, that's really not that loud. Here, put it in gear. Yeah, it's really not loud at all. It's funny, it sounds like it's running better, but it's definitely not. It's not running as good as it sounds. Out of my way, and I managed to get both the rear bolts off too with no breaking or anything, so I'm amazed. They looked horrible, but yeah, they spun right off. But here's the cat. Let's see, I'm trying to see what it looks like inside, because like what these have like pellets or whatever. I've never actually, like, you can kind of see what's in there. And then yeah, so I guess it's not that heavy. It's not light, but it's not heavy. Got my scale, let's see what we're at. And then I'll go back and I'll look, see, I think we've pulled like 200 and change out of this car. So now with this gone, we're 200 and something. So we're at, what is that?
19.
Yeah, so 19 pounds. That's the super big 19-pound catalytic converter. It's not warm enough for
Yeah.
Reverse. Also, this thing sounds just like the truck that just left. Yeah, it sounds a lot better. How bad it's breaking up. It runs really rough at idle, and then even at wide open, it's really starting to get shaky. But it runs better with the cat off. But and I guess it sounds good, I guess, but it gets a lot of compliments. All right, now time to pop this puppy in, and it's pretty solid. There's really nothing holding the full, axle back over. Except for like some wire, because there's only one hanger, so that's pretty solid. Didn't really go anywhere, so let's hear how that sounds. Yeah, so that sounds pretty good. I think it's a little bit louder than it was with the cat on. And that seems like it's holding enough. If it exhaust leaks, who cares? So it seems to sound exactly the same as it did with the cat on from in here, but when we hear it from the outside under load, we'll see if it's any louder. So I wasn't gonna do a burnout, but then I decided, as soon as it started to spin, I'm like, yeah, I'll just do a burnout. And then, so did it keep spinning in second?
It made it all the way to the driveway over there. I took a few extra shots of it.
Oh wow. So yeah, it I guess maybe it makes more torque with the muffler on it. All right, so I think we're done messing around with it exhaust. Short little mini update video, but next time you see this car, we are gonna be tearing it completely apart, doing all that stuff, and really taking it to the next level.